Ayo, what's good guys? That video here. Today we got Jimmy has so many insults for Rob Beckett's teeth. I've seen him insult Rob Beckett's teeth a few times, but you know, I'm sure there's insults in here I haven't seen before. You know how compilations go, you never really know. But let's get to it right now. Jimmy, man, I think he's elite with the insults. Like, you know what? I want your guys' opinions on this. Who do you think has better insults out of all the British comedians? Sean Locke, Frankie Boyle, Jimmy Carr? Like, who do you guys think has the best insults? I think for me it's between Jimmy and Frankie. But, let's see.
John is really good with numbers, as opposed to women, conversation, and emotions.
It's always like, we always do jokes about everyone, and the audience laugh. And when you do my ones, everybody laughs. Why would you go before I'd even finish that one?
Freddie is unique among...
That had nothing to do with Rob Beckett, but you know what? That was elite. That was absolutely hilarious. Oh my god.
The audience laugh. And when you do my ones, everybody laughs. Why would you go before I'd even finish that one?
Freddie is unique among cricketers in that I've heard of him. Jason has a media and performance degree from...
Kind of right, though. I don't know a single cricketer. Except for him now.
From the University of Salford, and yet despite that...
Stop, Jimmy!
What?
Salford, we've said this before.
What did he say?
He said Salford.
Well, it's spelled S-A-L-F-O-R-D.
That way, but it's said.
Did you say salt?
Salford.
No, salt.
There you go.
Okay. Jason has a media and performance degree from the University of Salford, and yet despite that, he's done really well for himself.
I like how he's like, you can insult me, just pronounce shit right. I like that. I like that about him.
If Nigel Farage had his way, playing this show would be part of the British citizenship test. You'd have to get 40 points at Countdown, or you can't live here.
Where would you move, Sean? You're quite... I mean, I don't want to upset you by saying this, but you're quite an angry man a lot of the time. Are there any words that rile you?
There's only one thing that's got in common with me being angry every time I'm on this show, and that's you.
Joe and Josh are friends in real life. Normally, when you have two good friends, there's a funny one and a good-looking one. What's happened here?
It's unfair, because everyone else just got jokes about themselves, even when John's... It's about me.
You're sort of a victim.
Shouldn't be sat next to the alpha, should you, mate?
John is dedicated to his girlfriend. She's a lovely, bubbly girl whose parents describe her as missing.
Why is it all... This shit literally says insults for Rob Beckett. Why is it all, like... Why? Bruh. What? Rob Beckett haven't even been in this video yet. We've been clickbaited here. We've been clickbaited.
Machine comes from an Irish family and...
Absolutely hilarious compilation though, so I'm not mad, but I'm just pointing out we've been clickbaited.
Has over 80 cousins. Life with them is a real roller coaster because they run a fairground.
You're as Irish as me, Jimmy.
I know. But, you know, I was brought up properly. Matthew's hoping to break into the movies. Good news for him. He's 5'4", so he'll only need a child's ticket.
Well, five and a half. Nobody uses the half, apart from people who are 5'5", really. Like, Richard's not going, oh, I'm 6'6 and a half.
That's
no, because I'm 6'7", you see.
Before becoming a comedian, Bob used to work as a probation officer, so I'm assuming you and Sean go way back.
What is this thing about me in fights? I don't get in fights.
He was on probation for running a brothel, actually.
Yeah, my brothel. John used. I dressed him up.
I was enjoying that until then.
That's what he said when the police walked in. 1984 was the first time...
That was great. I love how they just fucking managed to toss it all around. Like, it goes from Sean to... Oh my... That was elite. Nah, I think that might be, like, my favorite joke. Not because of the insult, but just because how they managed to include everybody. And it was just so natural and off the top. That was elite. Like, that genuinely was elite.
Oh, that's too much.
I was enjoying that until then.
That's what he said when the police walked in. 1984 was the first time Bill Bailey appeared on the Edinburgh Fringe, and the last time a Fringe appeared on him. Rob's American. America and Britain are two nations divided by a common language. For example, we say tomato, and they say, do these trousers come in an extra large with an elasticated waist? Okay, so Jen is the greatest ever female player in Countdown history.
Wow.
Roisin is the worst. Jen has had 5 9-letter words on Countdown. Roisin once claimed she had the word news, but there was no W on the board. Lee Mack is from Blackburn in Lancashire, but now lives in London because, well, you would, wouldn't you?
I'm not, but it'll go with the joke. I'm from Southport, but carry on. Still works.
Lee Mack is from...
See, that's where, like, me being American makes me not understand it. So, like, I need y'all to go ahead, translate that one. I'll rewind it one more time so you guys can listen, so you guys can go and translate that for me in the comments below.
Word news, but there was no W on the board. Lee Mack is from Blackburn in Lancashire, but now lives in London because, well, you would, wouldn't you?
Explain. Appreciate y'all.
I'm not, but it'll go with the joke. I'm from Southport, but carry on. Still works.
Lee Mack is from Southport, but now lives in London because, well, you would, wouldn't you?
Doesn't work because no one knows where Southport is. You're from Southport, you idiot. I mean, forget it.
John hates text speak. The abbreviated spelling and poor grammar infuriate him. And if John were to ever receive a text message, I imagine he'd be livid.
I do get text messages from Papa John's Pizza Hut and my bank. The joke's on you, Jimmy, because it's 2 for Tuesday.
Sean recently turned 51, which, as Rachel will tell you, is a no longer in your prime number. David suffers from insomnia. Here's a tip, David. Try talking to John after the show for 5 minutes. That will sort you right out.
How about to? You're supposed to say something about him and his background and
He
stuff.
was. He was saying that I had insomnia.
That's hardly a slam, is it?
John says his new girlfriend takes his breath away, and that's because she's inflatable. Reg first came to the UK to study at RADA. You may not think Reg has got much of an acting range, but he's actually a 23-year-old white woman from Surrey. Sean Locke is often referred to as Lockie by his friends, and El Diablo by foreign hitchhikers.
And I call them numero siete.
Rachel Riley took over from Carol Vorderman in much the same way as in the wild a young male silverback gorilla will attack and drive out the older male when the older male starts asking for too much money. Same way as...
And I call them numero siete.
Rachel Riley took over from Carol Vorderman in much the same way as in the wild a young male silverback gorilla will attack and drive out the older male when the older male starts asking for too much money.
Fair enough.
Rachel joined Countdown in January 2009 after Carol Vorderman sadly...
Damn! How long have they been doing Countdown for? You know what? Cut that bit out because, honestly, me going through the, like, theory, trying to figure out where the first one was made, and it was too much fucking effort and took way too long. But I'm not even sure I got the right result. I know 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown began in 2012, but as far as the other one, let me know when the original Countdown first aired in the comments below.
Broke her leg and had to be shot and melted down for glue.
That's tough.
Where would we be without Rachel Riley? I guess helping a drunk Carol Vorderman out of her mobility scooter.
She looks so uncomfortable. I like how she's so uncomfortable. She's like, oh shit. Look at her.
If you're watching,
Rewind.
Carol... A drunk Carol Vorderman out of her mobility scooter.
Bruh, she looks so uncomfortable here. She's like, I'm gonna laugh, but at the same time, I'm nervous. Just the reactions make me laugh. I don't even understand the joke, but just their reactions make me laugh. Hey, Rob Beckett's funny.
If you're watching, Carol... Oh, should be passed out by this hour. Rachel worked hard to overcome the legacy of her predecessor, but let's face it, no one's going to forget Karen Venderman in a hurry. I'm not saying Sean Lock is downbeat depressing, but Channel 4 have asked me to announce, if you or anyone you know is currently suffering from Sean Lock, there will be a helpline for you to call after the show. John is a laugh a minute, which isn't great for this show, as he only gets...
We haven't even had a single Rob Beckett insult, yet he's in the title. Like, this has been clickbait. Like, it's absolutely hilarious, but we're halfway through it, and I think Rob Beckett's only even been in this video once, and he wasn't even the one getting insulted.
Gets 30 seconds. Rachel is constantly confounding society's outdated sexist attitudes. First on Countdown by being a young, attractive woman who's also excellent at maths, and then on Strictly by being a young, attractive woman who's shit at dancing. One of Josie's favourite hobbies is outdoor swimming. I also love outdoor swimming. It's one of my favourite ways to get hepatitis. Sean says he only has 3 weaknesses on Countdown: the letters and the maths. I don't want to break any hearts out there, but John has recently got married. Now, I'm not saying the marriage won't last, but when the bride threw the bouquet, she caught it herself. Despite not always winning on Countdown, Sean really throws himself into it like a seagull flying into a patio window. Since taking up acting, Greg has put his day job as a teacher behind him and shown off the incredibly diverse range of characters he can play. Whether it's head of sixth form in The In-Betweeners or a member of the drama faculty...
Yes! They confirmed it! Yes! Every time I see that dude, I'm like, he is the dude from In-Betweeners, isn't he? Yes, he confirmed it. Let's go.
Greg has put his day job as a teacher behind him and shown off the incredibly diverse range of characters he can play.
Is he an actual teacher, though? Is that legit? That's cool, actually. That is actually kind of cool. So he...
It's head of sixth form in The In-Betweeners or a member of the drama faculty in Man Down. He can do it all. I'm not saying Sarah's going to struggle at Countdown tonight, but she has somehow managed to misspell Sarah.
Okay, my parents spelt my name. I had nothing to do with it, did I? I was being born.
Sean Lock, proof if proof were needed that the educational standards in this country weren't much better in the old days. Rachel is a role model for any intelligent, ambitious young woman who wants to have a career, standing next to a row of jumbled up letters. I must admit, sitting opposite Sean on so many episodes of Cat Does Countdown has really inspired me. It's inspired me to moisturise my forehead.
What do you mean?
John recently got married. Well, it was either that or pay the postage to send her back.
Now tell me, is that a joke about an inflatable girlfriend or a foreign bride?
Oh, we're sort of multi-layered.
Okay, good.
We're just suggesting that it is not a real love.
I'll enjoy it twice then.
I've seen this so many times, but this is the first time I noticed.
So long that at his wedding, for the something blue, he just used his balls.
Friend or a foreign bride?
Oh, we're sort of multi-layered.
Okay, good.
We're just suggesting that it is not a real love.
I'll enjoy it twice then.
The look of disgust on Greg's face here is absolutely perfect. Out of all the times I've seen this clip here, I never noticed just the absolute look of like disappointment that is on his face when he is looking at John.
John had been single for so long that at his wedding, for the something blue, he just used his balls. Comic actor Miles Jupp is in huge demand at the moment, or he would be if someone was making a film about a young Boris Johnson. Rob Beckett is a stand-up comedian and the worst ever Cats Does Countdown player, which means he's the worst ever player of Countdown ever. He also seems to be dressed from the neck down as a lesbian.
Are you sure it's from the neck or just from the forehead down?
Actually, the hair as well. Yeah, you can. Susie, what's the weirdest route?
Okay, they finally have given Rob Beckett an insult, and it wasn't even about his teeth. This is... How does he have so many insults about his teeth? You haven't even been able to find one! The clickbait here. I'd like to apologize, because I'm going to use this title in my video too, because, you know, views. That I clickbaited you, but you know what? It's their fault. Okay?
Rumour you've heard about yourself on this show.
On one of the more popular fact sites, which aren't always facts, they said I'd been in prison in Cambodia for a while, and I was married to a paperclip millionaire. But you know, you can never trust those sites because they say you're a comedian.
You know, she doesn't seem to do a whole lot of insults back, but when she insults somebody back, she does quite good. I'll give it to her. Like, she doesn't do a lot, but she does well.
Rachel, who's your weirdest crush?
There is one person, actually. He's a little bit older than me. He's the comedian slash presenter. He's got this show where comedians come on and sometimes there's a music act and other celebrities. And he's got 2 dogs. And I asked my friends, and because I didn't think it was a weird crush, but they said it definitely was, because everyone knows he's gay. Graham Norton.
Disappointing.
Rob Beckett is the only man I know that has to get planning permission when he visits a dentist. Rob, when the tooth fairy came when you were a child, what'd you do with the money? Did you buy a car?
We're finally almost at the end of the vid, and we've had one insult about his teeth. At last. It's happened. I officially haven't clickbaited you. It's official. I can take away the apology. Let's go.
Has to get planning permission when he visits a dentist. Rob, when the tooth fairy came when you were a child, what'd you do with the money? Did you buy a car? Rob grew up in Lewisham, or where because of his teeth.
Actually, I wonder, like, when Rob was actually, like, a little kid, did he legit have, like, massive teeth just on a little face? I want to know I want to see, like, a school picture of him where he's smiling just to find out if he had some massive ass teeth as a kid or not, or if, like, he grew up and he ended up with big. I don't know why, but I'm curious. I don't feel like doing the research for that, but if you want to do the research, let me know.
He was technically.
Well, I don't need subtitles on. Would you guys like me to start putting subtitles on? You can tell me that in the comments too. Normally the subtitles aren't very good, so I don't bother. But, you know, if you're interested.
Be classed as a dangerous dog.
At least I didn't have to buy them.
What? How's that going to do?
They just called me a dog.
I'm not saying Rob's got big teeth, but Rob is 98% calcium. I'm not saying Rob's got big teeth, but at summer solstice, loads of druids make a pilgrimage to his mouth and dance about. But Rob is one of the most wanted comedians on the circuit, mainly by ivory poachers. I think we got a bit carried away, Rob.
It's all right, mate.
Well, the last, like, minute, they had some insults about his teeth. But that was hardly worth being the title of the entire video now. Come on. Either way, this was actually, like, I think this might be one of my favorite compilations I've watched from the show. Like, just as far as best jokes, this might be the best. But hey, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me a fat ass like, comment, subscribe. And another thing you guys can tell me if you made it to the end, what is, like, your favorite compilation from the show you've seen? Matter of fact, if you can give me the title of it, I might react to it. if I haven't before. So, yeah, I'm out. Bye.
With